Canadian retailer Simons has won an award for the design of its store at the West Edmonton Mall. It's the first major retailer to incorporate social media within the store design. Allan Guinan is the managing principal of Figure3 Interior Designs. His firm designed this store, and he's here in studio. Good to see you, sir. This concept in the West Edmonton Mall, I understand, is your first outside of Quebec. Now, did they approach you? You approached them? How did this come about?
We've been working with them for about 5 years, and they're in a national expansion mode. So this was really the first opportunity that they could get from a real estate perspective outside of Quebec, and so they grabbed it.
All right. So how are you incorporating social media into the retail sector and space and shopping experience? I understand an iPad is part of it.
Yeah, it's actually a giant iPad. I mean, for us, development of interactive technology within the store was a really big component of what fell out of our research. How can we attract the younger generation into the store? So we've developed what's called PhotoStar, which is in essence a mini little photo studio with a giant iPad, and people can take photographs of their looks that they try on and then post it on Facebook and ask their friends what they think about it.
Right, and we're kind of getting a sense of it here. So give me a sense of, let's say, a 20-something walks in, or even younger, let's say. What's the experience like? What do they do?
Well, they get to have fun, which is kind of one of the objectives of the store. We wanted to allow people to be able to experiment, spend some time in the store with their friends in the store or connecting with their friends outside of the store. So they get to try and clothes, they stand in front of it, they push a button, and immediately it's sent out. It's branded Simons. It can be posted on Facebook or any of their social media outlets.
And so it's up and running?
It's up and running now.
And what's the response been like?
It's been fantastic. We have one in the young women's and one in the young men's areas of the store, and they're lining up to use it.
And the idea, obviously, is to drive sales, to get them to stay longer, maybe, get some brand loyalty going as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of this, they have 6 different demographics of people that they have as customers, and what they're looking to do is really establish that initial brand ambassador with that young generation. So, for instance, in the young men's area, we have video gaming going on, so they can spend time in the store, and there's, it's an important element for them to feel welcomed within the environment.
And you use the term touch points. What does that mean exactly?
Well, the store as such is a very logical and clear way of navigating and very as the backdrop to the store. But what we wanted to do is create a whole series of touch points that would really engage the individuals that would feel most aligned to that. So, for instance, we have the video gaming, as I talked about. We have crazy porta potty change rooms in the guys' areas, and then for the more sophisticated women, we have a lounge area outside of the change area so that they can have their friends and they can try on different looks in a calmer atmosphere. And then we have a valet style approach in the men's change rooms. There's iPads so they can see the various different looks. They can scroll through and see how various different outfits could be put together. There's valet space for them to put their keys. We really focused on the experience within the change rooms because that's where you get to really impart a different approach for every customer.
Now, do you foresee 5-10 years from now, if not earlier, that this will become commonplace in retail stores?
I think it's absolutely going to be critical. Engaging your customers and building brand ambassadors is really what it's all about. It's kind of the whole concept of, they tell 2 friends and then they tell 2 friends and so on and so on. So from our perspective, we want to keep them in the store longer. We want them to feel very much part of the culture and be, really engaged with the store.
I'm curious how long how long it took you to come up with this concept, and what kind of information and research did you absorb to figure out that this is the way to go?
Well, it's a great question. We undertook research well in advance of the design of the store. So we worked with customers in the Edmonton area. We undertook a weekend-long session where we got into their closets. We talked to them about how they buy and how they shop. We undertook store-alongs with them. So we really engaged with about 120 customers of different different demographics to get a sense of what it is that they would find interesting in a shopping experience.
We know that various department stores and other retailers are struggling along. Have you been approached by anybody? Are they thinking that this might be a good idea for them?
There's a lot of retailers very interested in this. Obviously, appealing to that demographic, getting them in the store for longer really results in bigger basket size. So there's a direct correlation there. And from our perspective, you have to make that environment encouraging and engaging for them.
Are you essentially targeting, let's say, 15 to 24, and then above that, maybe they're not so interested?
No, I think we've developed strategies to engage customers at all different age groups. Clearly, it changes as they age. But if you can establish them in that early time in their life, they become loyal to your brand forever.
What kind of feedback have you got from customers?
It's been spectacular. It's really made a difference to Simons in terms of their online presence out in the West was not their strongest from an e-commerce perspective. And following now the launch of this, it's really spiked it. So they're seeing a lot higher e-commerce sales online from this interaction.
And can you give us a hint where we may see this popping up soon? Where else in the country?
It's starting to, from a Simons perspective, there's a new store that will be launching in Montreal, in Anjou, in next year. But we're doing similar things with other clients. TELUS is a big client of ours, and we've developed a new concept store which was launched in Yorkdale Mall. And again, it's about engaging with the customer, having the customer witness their brand, be party of their brand, and it's really exciting times.
And just need a short answer here, but did you use the Apple template somewhat as to how people engage with Apple products in their stores? I
think Apple is obviously a big influencer. One of the big key components of this is the technology interface had to be simple. People had to be able to use it, and it had to almost be intuitive to them. So we certainly looked at how Apple has used their products to create that engagement process.
Okay, we'll be watching. Fascinating stuff. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right, Allan Guinan, managing principal of Figure3 Interior Design.